You're listening to Fuzzled, where structure beats hustle every time. If you want marketing that's designed, not reactive, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. And welcome back to Fuzzled, from confusion to clarity. It's the podcast for thoughtful founders who want to become recognised experts online without the noise, guesswork, or constant content grind. Each week we explore the systems behind authority, visibility and sustainable growth in an AI-shaped world. And today we're exploring a frustration that I see a lot. You're posting on social media consistently, you're showing up, sharing ideas and trying to stay visible, and yet, my friend, you're still not seen as the expert. It can feel confusing because from the outside it looks like you're doing everything right, but the issue isn't effort, it's structure. So let's break this down. Most founders and personal brands believe that posting more content will eventually lead to authority on their topic of expertise. That logic seems sound. More content means more visibility, and more visibility should mean more recognition. But in practice, that's not what happens, because visibility and recognition are not the same thing. Basically, visibility means people see you online. Recognition means people understand and remember what you're known for when they see you online. And this is where things start to break down. If your content covers multiple ideas, different angles and shifting messages, your audience sees activity, but struggles to categorize you. Therefore, this creates what I describe as signal dilution. You're visible online, but not memorable. And without being memorable, authority doesn't form for you. This, my friend, is why founders and personal brands feel stuck with online. They increase their effort, they post more, and they try to stay consistent because that's what they've been told to do, but the structure underneath their content doesn't change. So the outcome doesn't change either. And this is the key shift. Posting creates visibility online, signals create authority. Because people, algorithms and AI don't remember volume, they remember patterns. So if your content isn't reinforcing a clear and repeated idea, your audience cannot build an association with what you do. And without that association, recognition never compounds. The real issue here is that most marketing advice pushes you towards activity and not clarity. And that's the structural flaw. So now it's time for a quick round of Buzzword Bingo, and today's term is Topical Authority. It comes from SEO, which is a buzzword in itself, I know. So SEO is search engine optimization, but today we're going to be talking about topical authority. It's a broad subject, but essentially topical authority simply means how much perceived authority do you have on a given topic. That can come from qualifications, your experience, or formal accreditations. But online, none of that counts unless it's visible. And more importantly, unless it's clearly packaged up right. Because platforms and AI systems don't infer your experience. They recognize patterns. There's that word again, patterns. They look for repeated, structured signals that show what you know, what you talk about, and what you're known for. So, my friend, topical authority isn't built through scattered insights, it's built through consistent, structured communication around a clear area of expertise. So if your expertise isn't legible online, it isn't discoverable. So now I hope you've got a better idea of topical authority and what that is all about. So now let's have a look at bringing a little bit more clarity on today's episode, because if we look at the episode title, Why You're Not Seen as the Expert, even though you're posting, well, structure is the most important thing here. Structure will change everything for you, because instead of trying to post more, the focus should really shift to building a clear signal based on what you want to be known for online. So in Fuzzled, this is where we introduce the idea of an anchor task. So an anchor task, which we've talked about before in previous episodes, is a single central piece of content that defines your message. So from that anchor task, everything else flows for you. And this creates what I call a content cascade. So your ideas are reinforced across different formats. Your message stays consistent, so you're not talking about lots of different things. So that means that your positioning becomes clearer over time in terms of what you want to be known for online. So instead of starting from scratch every time you post, with an anchor task, you're actually building on what you've already said. So this is the difference between content that resets and content that compounds over time, because authority doesn't come from isolated posts, it comes from repeated, recognisable patterns. Simply put, consistency without clarity creates noise. If you're posting about lots of different topics, people are going to get confused about what you're really an expert in and how you can actually help them. So in this scenario, structure ensures that consistency actually builds something, because you're using that one anchor task, that one piece of content, to then repurpose it into smaller pieces of content, so you provide a uniform, consistent message all of the time. So before we finish, a quick note about my free online sessions where we explore ideas like this in a practical way. We look at how structured marketing, for example an anchor task, creates reliable visibility, and how recognised experts are built in the modern business landscape. So if you'd enjoy joining one of these sessions live, you can find the next event on my website and in the show notes. One of the sessions that connects closely to what we've been talking about in this episode is called Structure Beats Hustle, where I break down how to build visibility systems that compound over time without the energy drain and burnout that can become a real problem for personal brands and online founders in today's social media hustle environment. So on the final plink of that piano there, let's reflect on today's episode, because understanding how content builds authority matters, because it directly affects whether people and AI systems recognize you as the expert in your field. Posting more doesn't make you the expert, being clear does, because you don't become recognised by being everywhere and talking about lots of different topics. You become recognised by being clear and understood. And once that understanding is consistent, authority begins to compound for you. With that, I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for listening to Fuzzled, where structure beats hustle every time. If today sharpened your thinking, you'll enjoy my weekly Friday feeling emails, calm, honest reflections with practical structure you can build around. Join the Marketing Clarity Club at paulculshaw.com, and I'll see you in your inbox. Take care and keep building with structure.